Hello and welcome to Color with Kendi. On this channel, we paint digital watercolor and gouache on the iPad in the app Procreate. Today's video is about the Amazing Gouache Brush Pack. This is a brush pack that I've recently upgraded with lots of new brushes and new fun textures. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 10 things that you need to know to get started. And in next week's video, we'll be talking about each brush in detail. So today's video is just a starting point, and next week we're going to do a deep dive. So let's get into today's video. So the first thing to know is that there are 7 different files that come with the set, so be sure to download all of them because we have a bunch of paper canvases that are really useful, and there's also a reference guide. So let me just walk you through all of these files so you know what you get with the set. So obviously the most important thing is the brush set itself. So I'm going to open up the brush library, and when you download and import the brush set, it will be right at the top called Amazing Gouache, and all of your brushes will be in this one set. At the very top there is a link. You can type that in. It's colorwithkendi.com/brushes, and you can find all of the helpful videos that you'll need to get started right there. And all of the brushes are organized. They have numbers and they have categories. So we have sketch, erase, and smudge brushes. There's some main gouache brushes that I tend to use the most, and hopefully you will also use the most. And then I have some non-layerable gouache brushes for flat color. Then we have some brushy layerable gouache for lots of brush texture, wet paint brushes, dry paint brushes, soft edge brushes, thick paint brushes for really thick textures, and then there's some flat paint brushes for the people who like to paint backgrounds with flat paint brushes. Then we have a few background brushes for something that's a bit more dilute. And then we have detail brushes. So it's a comprehensive set, and there's a lot that you can do with it. So I'm going to talk more about this set in detail next week, but today I'm just going to give you a few pointers. But let's go back and talk about the other files that you get. So there is also a reference PDF. So if you ever need any help and you want to figure out how to use a brush, there's a reference PDF. You can import this into Procreate as a PDF and just go through all of the pages. There's lots of helpful tips, so you know exactly how to use all of the brushes. So I will leave that there. And then there are 4 different canvases. There are 2 large ones. These are 12 by 16 inches, and then there are 2 medium-sized ones. Those are 8 by 10. They're 300 DPI, so they're print ready, and they have slightly different textures. So let me show you. So there's one that has a texture like this, and then there is one that has a simpler texture, which goes well with gouache. And we will talk a little bit more about the paper textures in a moment. But let me talk about one more file, and this is the brush tutorial canvas. This has all these layers ready for you to experiment in. We're actually going to be experimenting and using the brushes in this next week. So if you want more guidance on how to use the brushes and what you would use them for, be sure to check out the video next week. Now let's talk about the second thing, which is the videos. So there's today's video to get you started. Then there are going to be a few brush tutorial videos where we're going to use that brush tutorial canvas. And there are also a few other videos. There's an installation video as well as a Procreate brush problems video. So you have a lot of access to information that will make it easier for you to use this brush set. Because I can't tell you the number of times I purchased brush sets in the past and I had no idea how to use them. That's not a problem here. I have you covered. We have lots of videos, and they're all available at www.colorwithkendi.com/brushes. So you can always go there. This is for all of my brush sets. So you can just go to that link, tap on the brush set, and you have everything available to you. So definitely check that out if you need a little bit more help. Now the third thing that we're going to talk about today, it's quite important, is pressure sensitivity. So I'm just going to open up the brush tutorial canvas and show you a few things. So when it comes to the brushes in this set, they are very pressure sensitive. So you definitely need a pressure sensitive stylus. Do not use the Apple Pencil USB-C. That one is not pressure sensitive. The brushes will not behave as you see on the product page. So it's really important to use a pressure sensitive brush. So I'm just going to select a color and select one of the brushes here. So let's just say brush number 8, and let's just zoom in. If I use light pressure, I get something like that. And if I use heavy pressure, I get a lot more pigment. And this goes for a lot of the brushes in this set. It's really important to have a pressure sensitive stylus to get the most out of it. And to get the most out of the brushes in the set, it's really important to vary your pressure while you make a stroke. So for example, if I go to brush 19, if I use light pressure and then slightly heavy pressure, you can get this interesting variation. And it also can affect your line width. So it is very important to have a pressure sensitive stylus. Otherwise, your lines will not look like this. And if you are struggling to create what you see right now on the screen, and you're pressing too hard or having to press too light, then you can always change the pressure curve. These brushes were designed for the default pressure curve in Procreate. So I'm just going to show you. Go to the Actions menu, you go to Prefs and Pressure and Smoothing. This is a default curve. This unfortunately does not work for everybody. If you happen to have a very light hand or very heavy handed, you may need to adjust this. So I do have a video on that. You can go to my Procreate brush problems video, the first one, and then go to the first section there. And it talks about how to change the pressure curve. Then you'll be able to create all of these lines without any problem. Otherwise, sometimes you have to press too hard or too soft. So definitely check out the video if you're having any trouble. But the secret really is for a lot of these brushes is just to vary the pressure. See, light, medium, heavy. You can create really interesting results by varying that pressure. And I do suggest that you stay in the low to medium zone. If you go really heavy with these brushes, then they're going to look more flat. The same brush, if I used medium pressure, would have such a different result. So definitely stay within that low to medium zone to get the best results. So the fourth thing I wanted to talk about is smudging. Smudging is really key. So a lot of the brushes in this set, so I'll show you, for example, let's say 26. If you lift your pencil many times, you will get a little bit of that overlap because it's kind of meant to mimic gouache when you let it dry and then you add more pigment on top. It's going to blend in a little bit and layer a little bit. But if you want it to become much smoother, then you can always smudge. And you can smudge one single color like I have here, or you could add a different color too. I could add something that's a little bit more close to blue, like that, and then I can smudge. There are 3 different smudgers in this set, and all you have to do is just use the smudge tool and then go to these smudgers. So the smudgers are available at the top. 5, 6, and 7 are all smudgers, and depending on the brush that you've used, one may work better than the other. I tend to find that brush number 6 works the best for a lot of the brushes, but if you're using something that's more wet, use number 5, and if you're using something that's a bit more textured, number 7 is good. But with the smudgers, it's always really important to start at a smaller size and then work your way up. So all you have to do with the smudger, so I'm at size 25, is just gently smudge. You can lift your pencil many times too, and it will smudge it out. And if you go with a larger size, you'll get a slightly different result. So definitely play around with that. But with the smudgers, start off with a smaller size and then work your way up. And if you have any unintended overlaps, like right here, let's say I don't want that, you can smudge it out, no problem. But keep in mind that smudging will remove some of the texture. That's just how it is in Procreate. Now let's talk about layering. So layering is such a great thing in gouache, and it is different from watercolor because watercolor layers are very translucent, but with gouache they're a little bit more opaque, and depending on how much water the brush has, you can get different results. Now what I really love to do is use these brushy layerable gouache brushes. So you can lay down your base color pigment with any brush that you want, and then add more texture, more brush strokes with these. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you brush number 19 right now, just so you understand what I mean by layerable. So let's say I lay down some pigment with this brush without lifting my pencil. So do you see there's a little bit of inherent texture and it has nice texture on the edges. But now what if I want it to look more layered, like it's thicker, like there's multiple layers on top? What I can do is just lift my pencil, which is what I've done, and then come back with light pressure. And do you see? You can see more of those layers on top. Do you see that? And you can do this with any of these brushes. So what I'm going to do, so let's say I have that base layer, I can go to one of the other brushes, brush number 18, and then with light pressure, add on these brush strokes. So that's really nice with this, that you can do a lot of layering so that your paint does not need to look that flat. You can start with any brush of your choice and add more layers. And a lot of the brushes in this set are somewhat layerable, but for the most brushy effect, these three are the ones that I would go to. Now let's talk about preset sizes. So all the brushes in this set, any of them, you can tap on any of them, they come with some of these preset sizes. So you can just tap there and it will snap to that particular size. Not to say you can't use it in between, you can just move it around. But these preset sizes are the sizes I tend to use these brushes at the most, so that's why I've provided them. And what I would suggest is to stay within the range of the top preset size and the bottom one. That's kind of where the brush works the best. Not to say that you can't go smaller, but the brush may not behave the same way. So for example, for brush number 21, this is what it looks like at the largest size. Now, at the smaller preset size, it looks like that. So as you can see, it's slightly different texture. The brush size does make a difference. Now, if you go really small, this brush doesn't quite behave the same way. So not that you can't go smaller, you can, but if you want to get the best results, it's really a good idea to stay between the top preset size and the bottom one. That's kind of where the sweet spot for the brush is. But you can obviously use it at another size, you'll just get a slightly different result. So because of Procreate's brush engine limitations, not all brushes work that well at a small size. So given that, I do have a few detail brushes that were designed to be used at a smaller size. So if you are painting something that's teeny tiny and you're struggling to do that with some of the other brushes in this set, that's okay, I've got you covered. They're detail brushes. All of these you can paint at a really small size. So for example, you can paint in something really small. This might be hard to do with some of the other brushes, so you can always use these detail brushes, and they all have slightly different textures. Now there are also 2 pencils in the set if you want to do details with that, and those are available right up at the top, tapered pencil A and B. Next, let's talk about clipping masks. So you do not need to use clipping masks to use the set, but I actually do like to do it sometimes. So what I do occasionally is paint in something, a base shape, with a relatively simple brush. So this has some texture, mainly on the edges, but not so much in the center. And then to make my life easier, I'll just go to the brush library, tap on plus, make it a clipping mask, and then what I can do is I can add additional textures and colors on top. So for example, let's say I went a little bit lighter and closer to like a bluish green, and I could use any brush in the set now. I could use one of these slightly dry looking ones, brush 31, and add some texture on top like that for a unique look. Definitely don't need to paint this way. You can paint directly with these brushes, but occasionally I like to add a little bit of additional texture and color with another brush using a clipping mask. You can definitely do this. So you don't just have to use one brush to color something, you can use multiple brushes, and you can use clipping masks to make your life easier so that the paint does not go everywhere. Because if I didn't use a clipping mask, then it would be a little messier, and that actually also works depending on your style. So something to keep in mind is that you can always paint something with a simpler brush and add more texture on top afterwards with a clipping mask. Now let's talk about some of my favorite brushes in the set, and they're great for doing foliage. Very loose style expressive foliage. So there are a few brushes here. These are great. 27, 28, 29 for making leaves in a more expressive way. So for example, let's say I take a green, I'll move off to the side here, and if I color in like this, it looks kind of similar to the other brushes, but where this brush really shines is when you make expressive marks like this. So if you start out with slightly heavier pressure, not really heavy, more like medium, and then you flick off your screen like that, so you're basically kind of flicking like that, you can create expressive marks that are really great for making leaves. So for example, I could make something like this, and then with one of the detail brushes, I can add a stem. So I wouldn't add the stem with this one. I mean, I could, but I'd have to go down in size. So I could add a stem. That's a bit too small. So you could add stems like that. but you can make expressive marks, and you can do that with a lot of the brushes here that have a slight taper. Do you see it has a slight taper? So whenever you have a slight taper, a really good idea is just to make that flicking motion off the screen, and then you can create that taper. Now, if you don't do that flicking motion, if you use the same amount of pressure throughout, you'll get something that's a little bit different. But play around with it, and you can get some interesting expressive marks with many of these brushes. And the last thing I wanted to talk about today is how to adjust the paper texture. So as you can see, there is a paper texture, and this paper texture is in the background as well as on top of what you've painted. And you can always adjust it. So let me show you this in one of the canvases. So I'm just going to go to the gallery. I'm going to open up one of the canvases. I'll open up this medium-sized one. And by the way, these are all the textures, so it's a good reference point just to look at what each brush does in case you forget. And I'm just going to turn this off for a moment, and I'm just going to paint in a swatch here. So just keep your eye on the swatch. So as you can tell, we have a paper background here. We can always turn that on and off. So what I love about the paper canvases is they are totally customizable. So if you don't want the paper background, bye-bye, it's gone. You don't have to use it. Definitely don't use the paper background when you're printing. I never use it when I'm printing, but I do like to have that paper overlay. So the paper overlay here will only show up on any colored portion. And what you can always do, I'm just going to turn this back on, you can tap right there, and then you can tap on N, and you can adjust the opacity. So it really is customizable. So I'm just going to close this. And up here, what you can do is we have a few layers. You can always turn them on and off. Now, if I turn that off, this is what it looks like. There's no paper texture. So if you happen to like that look, you can just turn the paper texture off. You can turn it on. You can add on another one so it's more intense. Or what you can also do is turn these two off and just turn on the paint layer, and you get these kind of like little bumps. It's very subtle. So sometimes when you have thick paint, really creamy gouache, the acrylic gouache, you get those little bumps. That's what this is supposed to mimic. I would not suggest using the paint and the paper ones together. It's a little bit too much. I generally just use the bottom paper, and you can really adjust the opacity to your liking. If you want it really soft, you can do that. So I usually like to keep it a little bit softer, but occasionally, depending on the painting, I might make it a bit more intense. Point is, it is customizable. You can do whatever you want, whatever suits your need, and whatever suits your particular illustration. For some illustrations, I like more paper texture. For others, not so much. So it is totally customizable. So that covers everything that I wanted to talk about today. These are the 10 things to get you started. And if you do need more help, there are going to be more detailed videos next week talking about every single brush. So be sure to check that out. If you have the set already, then have some fun playing around with it. And if you don't have the set yet and you are curious to learn more, I have a link in the description as well as a pinned comment. And because you watch this video all the way to the end, which very few people do, you get an extra 20% off. I'll put the coupon code on the screen. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye!